Hey, what's going on? Thanks for joining me. You are awesome. I'm RJ, and this is episode 3 of Tales from the Trip, where I document my time hanging out with the owner of Tease Guitars. And this is going to be part 2 of our look at the work that goes into every Tease guitar before it's sent out to the customers. Now, be sure to pay attention, keep those eyes and ears open, because not only are you going to get some good tips on how to do a fret level, but you're also going to be getting a little bit of insider information, because we do start talking a little bit about the upcoming ST1, when they're coming in, and some of the upgrades that are happening with this guitar. So you don't want to miss out on that stuff, okay? And if you like this stuff, do me a favor, hit that like button, okay? And if you subscribe and set up all notifications, then you won't miss out whenever we post more stuff like this. And guess what? There's going to be more. There's at least going to be a review of this guy, the SBHE, that you're seeing in this very same video, all right? So don't miss out. Like, subscribe, set up all notifications, okay? And now, let's see what Torsten's up to.
Start with 400 here. 400 grit's pretty solid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's still pretty gritty.
Yeah. And again, if these were nickel frets, we'd already be done.
Yes.
But they're not. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for voting on the old stainless. I appreciate you. The old man appreciates you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right. And because I don't want to do double work, we're going to go ahead and just knock this out right now.
Knock them back while you're doing it, right?
These guitars come gritty from the factory. I'll have to hit those too.
Yeah. The fret wire isn't cleaned before it's put on. They don't do anything to it when it's...
Well, we have them polished, but by the time it gets back to us, it's
Is that
unpolished.
is that the case? Because whenever
Yeah.
I get them, whenever I get these things delivered, not yours, but whenever I get other guitars delivered, they're usually pretty grungy.
No, these are grungy as grungy can be, but they're polished at the factory, but they just don't. They're in an ocean container for a couple of months, and
Yeah.
they sit in a warehouse for a couple of months, and that's just kind of what happens.
Yeah. Kind of like the same thing that the same reason why car parts manufacturers put oil on their parts so that they don't corrode while they're sitting on the shelf.
400. We're going to go to 600 here sooner or later. And when you're just doing your frets like this is all it takes on this. If you're going to go through the process that we do at Tease Guitars, until we get down to these other frets, the last 5.
And this, what we're seeing now is basically the same process that every guitar goes through when they come into Tease Guitar.
Exactly. If it's got like this guitar, I want to set this guitar up for pretty low action. So that fret may or may not have been playable on this particular guitar. It was not playable at 175, and it was not playable at anything below that. And I don't like to set guitars up at 175, even though some people like it. If somebody called up and said, I want my action set at 2, you wouldn't know.
Right.
And I could sell this guitar as is, but look, what did that take? 15 minutes, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. So someone might not have noticed if they like a reasonable action, but not a super low action.
Yeah.
But you noticed. So
I noticed it. So if I notice it, I lose sleep over shit like that.
Yeah. And if it's not right for you, you don't want it. It's not acceptable.
So you can see those frets are coming out real nice now.
Yes, they are. They're as shiny as the silver guard. The guard.
Yeah, where are we at? 800 here? Yeah, we're at 800. There's 1,000. So again, this is all we do for a standard. I mean, for as far as your frets goes, this is just part of a standard setup.
This is just part of the standard.
Less the crown level polish.
Right. So crown level and polish is part of the pro setup. Or
it's no
crown level and polish is part of the regular setup.
This guitar is a fluke. It's got high frets.
Right.
the majority of the guitars don't have high frets, but if a guitar has a high fret, we're going to catch it. You're not going to get it with a high fret.
Right.
That's kind of the deal with that. So where's my 1500? There we go, 1500. You can see these I haven't done any work on, but they're coming out too.
Yeah. Well, at this point, everything's just looking nice and shiny.
Oh yeah.
So.
We're gonna knock the rest of this little red stuff off here. Make sure you don't get any Sharpie stuff. Now I would take this tape off right now, but I've learned my lesson in that. Right?
Yeah.
Because that's what's going to end up getting on the back of that, and so I wash my hands in between all that. Okay, we did the 1,000. We did 1,500. We don't want 220. That'll get us in trouble real quick. There's the 2,000. And this is going to be it. After 2,000, you can go up to 2,500 or 3,000 or steel wool if you want. But I'm going to tell you right now, you don't need to.
No, 2,000, that's smooth.
So even if you buy an ST1, you're going to get the frets polished exactly like this. It doesn't matter. This is just what we do on every single guitar, is we make sure that you get a guitar that doesn't have any grit on the frets, which is kind of nice. We're going to take a pause right there because I'm going to go wash my hands. All right, so let's set this guitar up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually. And this is hit or miss. You may or may not get this. If you get a pro setup, you will get it, but I'll show you how quick and easy it is and how much difference it makes. Just because I'm here and I got it right now.
So putting on the
It's F1 oil.
F1 oil. What are the plans for the future? You got any plans you could share with everybody?
Yeah.
You know what? Let me get.
I just placed another order for next month. We have the new ST1s coming in.
The new ST1s.
I don't know how I get so lucky, but I've got 7 pink, 7 amber burst, 2 black ST1s left. That's out of like 240 guitars, and we just got those in August, which is great. And I've got some more coming in. March 29th is when they're supposed to be here.
Okay.
When they show up, they show up. Those will be a little different. I've got new colors coming out in those. And we've got some attributes that we're adding to the ST1.
Right.
One thing I wanted to talk about was the new packaging.
You guys are doing new packaging?
We have our new logo that we find. We have a logo. How's that? We have a logo. I'll bring it up on the screen and show you what that is.
Okay.
In a minute. But the new boxes that we have, they're craft boxes and they're KK boxes. And they're almost UPS proof. So we have not had a SBH E series damaged in UPS shipping yet.
Really? With the new
Not
packing?
one, with the new boxes.
Are these the boxes that I'm looking at right here?
Yeah,
These
they're double
square
boxed,
ones?
but it's not the double boxing that does it. I put them in double boxes just to make sure.
Right.
And just so you guys know, so when we do little things like that, what do you think of this? These boxes right here,
Right. Yeah, those are the ones you've sent me in the
stack
past.
these side by side, one upside down and one like this, and there's your box, right?
Right.
So I can get almost 2 boxes into one of these. That's
Right.
2 guitars taking up the space of one on a pallet coming over on a shipping container.
Right, so it's getting more expensive to ship.
So it's more expensive to ship these
Right.
than it is these.
Are these
A lot more expensive. There we go, 1,000th back, right? So we've got just the tiniest amount of bow in this neck. Exactly. We're going to check it with the tool I hate. And we're going to hold that up to that light. That's the reason that light up there is up there.
Yeah, it can help you read.
And you're seeing just like a sliver, which is what you should see. It's just a sliver.
Right.
So we're good there. Oops.
And that's
absolutely good there.
And that's basically the normal Tease setup.
No, that's the beginning of the setup.
Okay, just the beginning.
That's the beginning, bro. So here we're at like 2 1/4 up here, right? And no guitar comes out of this shop at 2 1/4. It just doesn't happen.
Nah, that's a bit high.
It's nice and level. We're at 4. That's 175. That's still a little high. So now I'm going to show you guys something that I can't help but have these screws sticking out, okay? That's why we give you, in a pro setup, we would swap these screws out for you. You wouldn't have this if you were polymating. I don't do it because it takes 20 minutes to set those up, to do this. I would love to do it. I tried to do it, and people complained that they wanted to set their old guitars up because I was selling these for $300 when they came out, and people were like, I'm paying for a setup. I could do my own setup. I said, okay.
Right.
So now I dropped it down to $265, and if you want the setup, it's $50, and it's well worth it because we do absolutely everything on this guitar.
Right.
Okay, so now we have the bar set on this string, and this guitar is should be at 1.5, right? It's 1.5 right on the money there. It's actually a little tiny bit lower, but that's fine.
That's a good height.
And again, these are tightened at the factory, but guess what?
They got loose.
You know why? Because it's wood.
And it expands and contracts.
That's what it does. So we make sure that this is taken care of. And this is, again, this is just a general setup. This is not a pro setup, but pro setup, we'd lube the nut and everything. We're going to still check the nut for you. Okay, so there we go. Now we're at 3 lines there. We're at 4 lines there, so this needs to go a full turn. You see that went over a little bit? It's going to pop back on us. And what you're going to get there is you're going to get, you'll see the radius saddles. They go along with the fretboard, right?
Yes.
They're perfectly.
Yeah. They look good.
They look perfect.
Yeah. They look good.
So that's how I do that, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for this one. What did you think? Let me know in the comments, all right? And don't forget, I'll see you for the review, all right? Like, subscribe, hit all notifications. And you've been awesome. I've been RJ. Until the next one, take it easy.